Hi, my name is Mark Biernot, and I'm getting a PhD in monetary economics. In this video, we're going to talk about the viability of the petrodollar going forward. Is the petrodollar going to be used? And what are the implications for the United States of America if countries jettison the petrodollar? Go back to the 1800s, 1872. Karl Menger, the Austrian economist, testified before the Austro-Hungarian Royal Commission, and he shocked a lot of people. He said money was not something that was decreed by nations or contracts set up in alliances. It's something that you personally would use. It's something determined by the marketplace. It's something as a medium of exchange or a unit of account determined by the marketplace, and the acid test being, would you personally use this currency? So the talk is, let's replace the petrodollar with BRICS, the Russian ruble-backed BRICS, because essentially that's what it is. It's a scheme or a plan by the failing Russian Federation to replace it. Would you personally accept the Russian ruble or the Russian-backed BRICS currency? That's the acid test that Karl Menger, the great economist, Origins of Money, in the 1870s was talking about. That's what he wrote about, and that's what shocked people. And it's shocking, I think, you today when I say, I don't trust that currency, and no matter what, the powers, the dictatorial powers like Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, or whoever dictates, I'm not going to accept that currency. That's the acid test. I'm going to use dollars. I'm going to trade in dollars. I'm going to continue to invest in dollars. And that's your answer about the petrodollar. The petrodollar is going to be continued to be used. We may diversify away from it. Not all transactions, oil-based transactions, are done in the petrodollar. Sometimes it's done in other currencies, minor currencies, but the infrastructure is set up for the US dollar. And that infrastructure took years to develop. I believe it was like 1973 that we started to start this petrodollar system. But times were different. Saudi Arabia controlled all the oil, as did the other OPEC nations. Now the United States of America is the #1 producer of oil. So sink your teeth into that. It's 14.7%, really 15%. Saudi Arabia trails at 13.2%, but it's no longer this like 80% Saudi Arabia. So are you telling me, Texas oil companies are going to start accepting BRICS? U.S. is also the highest consumer of oil. The marketplace is in the United States. Canada is not that far behind. So you're saying that they're going to accept rubles up in Canada? No way. The petrodollar and the dollar is going to remain as the main currency. And we may diversify away because that's what economics is, slowly and gradually, but it's not going to create a collapse. It's not going to create a downfall. A lot of YouTubers out there, who are trying to promote this negative narrative, and maybe they're replicating, Moscow talking points or something. I don't know, but more likely they don't understand economics themselves. They never read The Origins of Money by Karl Menger. That money is something that we trust and use. And ask yourself, and be honest, and you can ask write in the comments, are you going to continue using US dollars or another currency like the euro, or the Great British Pound, the Swiss franc? My goodness, the Swiss franc is so stable. Last time I was in Switzerland, the train was starting to move as the second hand swept the 12, so precisely. And we are diversifying into alternative energies. Not only is oil becoming less and less important, diversification away, green energies. These are all positive things. We're not going to go back to some archaic dictator decreed currency. I mean, what's going to happen to the world if we did that? And you guys say, oh, well, what about the gold standard? The gold standard, they're going to be back it by, no. A gold standard means me personally, can go into any bank in the world and trade a fiat currency for a bag of gold. They're not going to back BRICS by gold in the classical gold standard sense. That again, fantasies. That's an economic fantasy. Petrodollar will remain. We may diversify away from it, but don't worry. It's all going to be okay. The world is getting better. Thank you very much.